your heart. Keep it in your pocket for safekeeping. Don't ever let nobody be the reason you throw it out. You stop caring about.
Greetings. Welcome back to my channel. This is from a healthy woman's perspective. So I'm not gonna take up time. I'm just gonna get right into my topic. I do want to say that if you're here for the first time, hit that like and that subscribe button if you like the content that I'm producing, and leave a comment in the comment section. So without further ado, we're just going to get into this video. The topic is how to break bad habits. I want to first give you guys some information according to the Seagram's Medical Dictionary. And I quote, "A bad habit is a pattern behavior regarded as detrimental to one's physical or mental health. Such is often linked to a lack of self-control. In other words, a bad habit is a recurring action we do typically to provide instant satisfaction, but leads to long-term problems. Bad habits, they may feel good for the moment, but in the long term, a person will experience physical, emotional, and psychological problems or consequences." So now that we know what a bad habit is, let's get into our topic on how to break bad habits. Number one, weaning yourself. Although I believe weaning is good, I don't believe it's for everyone. I don't believe everyone can use this method, because during the weaning process, a person could revert back. And I'm about to explain. I remember when I was breastfeeding my son, who's now 22. The bond between us was so significant, of course, in a pure way, that I wanted to start breastfeeding him again, and vice versa. Although I was successful at using this method to stop breastfeeding him, the bond was so strong that it tried to drive me backwards. And that is why, if you have a strong bond with that bad habit, resort to number two: cold turkey. Now, many of us know what cold turkey is. Cold turkey is to completely cut off whatever that bad habit is we're holding on to and or entertaining. Scripture reads in the Holman Christian Standard Bible, Matthew 18:9. "And if your eye causes your downfall, gouge it out and throw it away." I chose this scripture because you and I must realize some things are just plain bad for us and will hurt us physically, emotionally, and psychologically. For example, cigarettes can make you ill. Excessive drinking can cause certain behaviors and lead you into addiction. Having sex, intimacy before you found the one, and or marriage. The long-term effect of bad habits will catch up with time. When we continue to engage in bad habits, this is why we must break them. The long-term effect of bad habits will catch up with time when we continue to engage in them. This is why we must break them, which leads me to number three. Stay away from things, people, and places that introduce bad habits. Scripture reads, 1 Corinthians 15:33 is the NIV. "Stop being deceived. Wicked friends leads to evil ends. He says, stop being deceived. Some people think they can hang out with individuals that drink and party all the time without being influenced. For example, I used to love to smoke cigarettes. Although I've been clean now for many years, but if I decide I'm going to have a boyfriend that smokes cigarettes, what do you think is going to happen? Remember, birds of a feather flock together. It will go from a drag of a cigarette to a whole cigarette to a pack of cigarettes. Next thing you know, it's a full-blown addiction. You have to know yourselves and what you are able to bear or withstand. You have to know yourself as an individual. 1 Kings 11, 1 through 5. King Solomon was obsessed with women. Pharaoh's daughter was only the first of many foreign women he loved: Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Sidonian, and Hittite. He took them from the surrounding pagan nations of which God had clearly warned Israel. So he was warned. You must not marry them. They'll seduce you into infatuations with their gods. Solomon fell in love with them anyway, refusing to give them up. He had 700 royal wives and 300 concubines, 1,000 women in all, and they did seduce him away from God. As Solomon grew older, his wives beguiled him with their alien gods, and he became unfaithful. He didn't stay true to his God as his father David had done. You can't think that you're going to entertain those friends for any length of time and not be influenced by them. It's just not possible. It could be as simple as being around someone that's always cursing to something with a little bit more consequence, like hanging out with someone who enjoys doing drugs and encourages you to join. Not saying that you won't be able to resist for a while, but you are putting yourself in harm's way. Don't think you will be able to continually hang around gossip all day and not start tearing people down. People influence people, whether we want to admit that or not. Another example of this would be Samson. And remember, Samson did resist Delilah for a while until she wore him down. Scripture reads in the American Standard Bible, American Standard Version. Judges 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, that his soul was vexed unto death. And he told her all his heart, and said unto her, thou hast not come a razor upon my head. For I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and like any other man. You see, she wore him down. It was a continual coming. You cannot continually be around bad habits and don't think that it's not gonna rub off on you. You see, the scripture I read concerning the downfall, we have to hear the consequences and outcomes of bad habits. Sicknesses, certain cancers come from eating a poor diet, STDs, unwanted pregnancies, many unhealthy addictions, unwanted heartache, heartbreak. The list just keeps going on and on. Which leads me to number 4. Number 4 is a made-up mind and determination. I heard it said many times, a made-up mind is half the battle. And I'm sure you have too. I truly do believe this, because certain addictions when I made up my mind that there's certain addictions that I had, when I made up my mind that I was going to let go of those addictions, I was able to conquer them. And it's because I wanted a brighter future. I'm a firm believer that what's in a man, woman, mind, they will say and do. Scripture reads 23:7, as a man thinketh, so is he. What you think is going to determine what you say and what you do. What's in our minds enforces our actions as humans. I believe we as humans, we underestimate the power of our thoughts. Scripture reads in King James Version 14:12 through 25. Isaiah 14:12 through 25. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend to heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And so the reason why I wanted to read that is because to show you, it started with a thought. He thought. And because of that thought, he was brought down low. Remember, the first scripture that I read is the beginning of a downfall. Our thoughts can change into bad habits. There's a saying, change your mind, change your life. Now let's take a look at a positive influencer. Look at the influence of Jesus had on Mary Magdalene. Luke 8:2, the NIV version. And some of the women who had been cured of evil spirits and diseases. Mary, called Magdalene, from who 7 demons had come out. 7 demons had come out. When you choose good people in your life, bad habits will and can be conquered. And this just goes to show that who you hang around with is going to influence you. It's going to influence you greatly. Thank you for stopping by my channel. And I just, pray that you're able to, that we as people are able to break bad habits, because they really, really do hurt our lives and hurt, not only us, but the people around us. They cause ripple effects. But without further delay, if no one has told you that you are beautiful, you are beautiful. From a woman's perspective, signing out. Until my next video. Peace.